Hello, viewers, and welcome to Game 3, here with my guest star, HuK. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
Alright, so basic. Anyways, HuK, let's get this started. 3, 2, 1, start. So yeah, we've got Game 3 here on Scrap Station, and we've got the green Protoss once again. HuK, is that your favorite color?
No, I usually go default green because most maps are green and it kind of camouflages. And then they don't have
Oh,
enemy colors on. And then when they see the mini map, they see green and they're like, "Oh, maybe there's my force." And usually it doesn't work, but it's like any advantage you can get, you might as well try. Actually, on this map, prefer orange just because it kind of blends in the best.
So yeah, if you ever play me, I will hate you if you use that tactic because I'm colorblind and I won't see anything on the mini-map.
Exactly. See, it works. It works.
Alright,
Proof.
and we've got your opponent Habit over here on the 3 o'clock position, spawning as the Red Zerg. What are your thoughts on Scrap Station, and then what are your thoughts on PvZ in general?
Okay, Scrap Station PvZ is absolutely just it's not good. I don't like it. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. It's a really big map, which lets them expand pretty safely, and they can drone up pretty heavily. And then they have a for sure scout, so you can't really do too cheesy of a build against a good player because they can expand early, but their scout gets to your base early enough that they don't see like a gateway or something, they're gonna know your cheese is coming and they're gonna be able to adapt in time.
Right.
So it pretty much guarantees them a strong opening of an uncontested expo with a lot of drones. And you can't like the counter to that is getting your own fast expo,
Right.
but you can't really do that well either on this map because you got two entrances, your ramp's really wide at your first, or if you try to block underneath, it's still really wide, and then you got these destructible rocks. It's a lot of bad stuff that I don't like PvZ on this map.
For sure. Now, he's going 15 pool, 15 hatch. Are you aware of this, and do the numbers really make a difference? Like, if you would have went 14 hatch, 15 pool, would you have changed your gameplay style up a lot, or at this point does it really even matter?
Well, I think his build order could have been, like you said, the reverse of that, where he gets the hatch sooner than the spawning pool.
Right.
That's what I would think most third players would do, just because, like I said, you got this like guaranteed expo, and if you're good enough, you can adapt to pretty much anything that Protoss sends to you the first few minutes, because you got this really easy Overlord scouting path. I don't know. Because I see this, I feel more confident in my build, which is kind of like a one base tech build as Protoss, which you can open up a lot of things. Like his Overlord's gonna have to leave sooner; it's gonna die. So basically, he sees you have two gases, your chrono boosting probes, and you're gonna tech to something. But whatever you tech to, it could be like a lot of. It could be DTS, it could be immortal drops, it could be early Colossus, it could be Phoenixes, Void Rays. There's just a lot of options, and because he doesn't have as strong of economy as he should, because he did get an earlier pull than an Expo, I feel more confident in
Right.
my build.
Oh, and you got 2 Zerglings in your base. Whoops.
Yeah, I kind of didn't play great there, but I mean, I was kind of nervous. Habit's a really good player, so yeah.
And yeah, looks like he's just using them to scout mostly to make sure you're not hiding any tech or anything. At this point, is denying scouting ability from him going to be your key thing?
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. I mean, I make sure I kill that Zergling before I throw up my Stargate. I throw my Stargate kind of midish
Yep.
at my base, because if you build it, a lot of Protosses build it right up against the right ledge, but to get like the Phoenix or Void Ray to their base ASAP.
Yep.
But good players are gonna scout that with their Overlords, and that's just gonna be all bad for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you preemptively, what are your thoughts? Void Rays or the Phoenix? Are you just going to go Overlord hunting, or are you going to try to do a push?
If this was pre-Void Ray nerf patch, I'd probably do Void Rays PvZ, but I really don't like Void Rays anymore. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, I get them sometimes, but I really don't like to. I'd rather go Phoenixes just because you can go Overlord. They're like Corsairs basically. I mean, I don't like them as much as Corsairs, but they're pretty much the equivalent,
Yep.
and you can hunt drones too with them.
So he just got his some more lings out. He was working off no army at this point, and you were taking advantage of that by trying to kill an Overlord and killing a few drones. I don't know if he actually got any drone kills, but at least it's forcing him to spend his larva on Zerglings, right?
Yeah, exactly. You just want to make sure they're not getting too greedy. And I mean, I got like a few free units off that anyways, so it's not that bad.
Is that kind of the main importance of harassing against Zerg, is to force them to spend larva on drones, or actually in this case, since you are going for Phoenix, you're obviously going to be taking out a lot of overlords. So he's going to have to spend a lot of larva on drones and ovies. Is that kind of the main importance?
Yeah, you want to apply pressure to Zerg because, like you said, you can't let them drone up. But at the same time, you want to keep them guessing what you're doing. Like, I'm showing this early aggression, so now he's running through his mind, like, okay, what is he doing? Is he, like, 4 or 5 warp gating me right now? So he could, like, overcompensate and, like, make, like, 30 lings or something, right? And then he's, like, way behind instead of, you know, just coming out kind of even.
Right.
You just want to keep them on the back foot. You want to make sure they're not droning. You want to make sure they don't know exactly what you're doing. Like, I'm sure when he saw these 3 Phoenixes, he was like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, basically. So...
Yeah, I mean, he's got nothing to defend against that, but a few Hydras just popped out, I should say, and he's got a couple Queens. Are you afraid of a lot of Queens, or do they really not bother you?
I would be more worried if I was going Void Rays, because Void Rays are kind of more all-in-ish. They're not as flexible as Phoenixes are. Phoenixes you can use all game to hunt drones. You know, you're gonna insta-gib drones, when Void Rays are kind of, you know, not as fast. They don't kill drones as fast because you got to kind of charge up, and they're just not as versatile as the Phoenix can be. I mean, you can use Phoenixes in main battles and lift off units. You can use them to harass drones. You can use them to kill overlords. They're just way more flexible. So Queens aren't as much as a worry when going Phoenixes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, of course, the counter to Phoenix is a lot of Hydras because they don't really have much else. Obviously, Mutas are a bad idea, but the fact is that Hydras are light units, and Phoenixes are good against light, so it really isn't that good of a counter.
Yeah, I mean, bang for buck, Hydralisks are going to win against Phoenixes all the time, but you can't really separate that much. I mean, you send like only 2 Hydralisks to fight 4 Phoenixes, you're losing every time. Even if you send like 4 Hydralisks against